the final award. And the way that this award is going to work is I'll explain it first. It is this week's Players of the Week. So the way that this is going to work, we have three players that we have selected for our Players of the Week. They will each get, each player will either get a bronze, silver, or gold medal. A bronze medal, is worth 1 point. A silver medal is worth 2 points, and a gold medal is worth 3 points. And what this will then do is they will go into a league table, which we will be updating every single week for you guys to see on our social media pages. Remember to go onto those: Twitter at Pundits Average, our Instagram and Facebook, The Average Pundits. Make sure you go and give us a follow and go and let us know that you are still interested in our podcast. But so we will keep you updated onto that. And at the end of the year, the player with the most points will receive the Average Pundits Player of the Year. So some big stakes here towards the end of the season. So make sure you stick around. Make sure you keep following us here on whichever streaming platform you are listening on. So I think that we should get down to business, and I think we'll go in reverse chronological order. We'll go bronze, silver, and then reveal who our Average Pundit Player of the Week is for game week 1 here in the Premier League. So the bronze medal that we have both decided to give out, and it's a player that was involved in a 3-0 win. He got a goal and an assist. He got 2 assists. Sorry, my mistake. And that is Liverpool's Mohamed Salah. Joe, how good is Mo Salah?
He's going to go down in the Premier League greats, mate. He really is. I still think there are still quite a lot of people out there who maybe underestimate or maybe just underappreciate Salah, because I feel like everyone knows what he's about. Everyone knows what he's going to come in and do week in, week out, season in, season out, but he still just doesn't seem to get something. There's still something always missing, I feel. But once it's all said and done and he's either left Liverpool or you never know, he may retire at Liverpool. Who knows these days? When that day does come, we're going to look back on Mohamed Salah and thinking in a lot of the same conversations that we looked at players like Drogba at Chelsea, Ronaldo at United. I honestly do. It pains me to say it, but I really do. He was a really, really worthy candidate. Most performances like that would go as the player. You know, this is one of those exceptions where there are couple of other people who were very prominent in this list, but the bronze medal to Mohamed Salah for the first week, I think we got to give it to him, Reece. We got to give it to him.
Absolutely. You know, when you've got a player like Mohamed Salah, that with this Liverpool team, there's always one player that doesn't have a good game. There's always one player that does have a good game. It's either Salah or Mane, or whether it's Jota or sometimes Firmino, but he's kind of petering off a bit. Although he did get a goal this week. Mohamed Salah is one of those players that you can consistently rely on to get goals, and he's one of those favourites every single year to get the golden boot. And I think that's one of the things that Salah always brings is goals. But one thing that he added to this game is assists, and assists, are more important than goals sometimes, because you need to get those players in those positions. It's all well and good being in those positions, but to have players to get the ball to you in those positions is absolutely crucial. So Mohamed Salah with 2 assists and a goal gives him the bronze medal for this week's Players of the Week, which means he is on the table with 1 point, his first point of the season, which then brings us on to our silver medal. Maybe a bit controversial in the way that we've given the bronze, the silver and gold medals out. They really could have gone either way in this segment, but we have given the silver medal this week to a Manchester United player who was on fire this week. Nobody on that pitch could touch him. 3 goals for him, and none of them were penalties, surprisingly. And that is Mr. Bruno Fernandes. What a performance! 3 goals. Joe, I mean, his performance was breathtaking, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes, what a player! What a player! I think this penalty agenda has got to stop. The penalty is. This is what he does. This is what he's about. This is what's in his blood. It's what's in his DNA. And in this game, he was actually awarded the man of the match title, and we've obviously player of the weekend title, despite the hat trick, but obviously all for a good reason, and all will be revealed. But an extremely dominant performance from Bruno. In that team, we were missing Cavani, starting in that kind of starting lineup as the striker you'd normally expect to see in these big games. But instead, when you don't think we have a proven goal scorer in the team, or a proven striker, should I say, Bruno's there to pick up the pace. So Bruno Fernandes, Manchester United, I absolutely love them. There's only one performance this week that was better, and we will go on to that in a second.
Indeed, we will. But
so unfortunate he doesn't get gold.
Indeed, Bruno Fernandes he's absolutely world class, and he's changed the philosophy of this Manchester United team. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should count himself very lucky that he has a player of this caliber in his side, to go along all of these world class players. And I think Bruno Fernandes' performance is helping to bring in these world class players like Jadon Sancho and Rafael Varane. And the future is very bright with a player like Bruno Fernandes in your side. He is this week's silver medalist, which means he does get on to our season leaderboards with 2 points. Not quite getting the gold medal, as we have a gold medalist this week, and it is, drumroll please, Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba is our gold medal recipient for our player of the week. You will see this spread out across our social media pages as well, giving him the gold medal. And he gets 3 points on our season. The first player to receive a gold medal on the Average Pundits podcast, and has a firm head start in what will be the race to get the Average Pundits player of the season. So, Joe, talk us through Paul Pogba's fantastic performance against Leeds.
Yeah, 4 assists in a game. He's only the 7th player in Premier League history to achieve that status. So obviously that title, that accolade going into there, obviously he isn't the first, but because he's in this very exclusive group, I feel like that's a worthy reason to put him up at the top. And, he was unfortunate not to score as well. He nearly had a goal as well as the 4 assists. So, Paul Pogba, just a fantastic performance. And, it's performances like that, and it's the mentality that he has in those kind of games, and the link up with Bruno and how good they work together on the pitch, that makes me just want to keep him forever, just hold on to him and not let him go. But obviously he's in the last year of his contract now. There's no talk of him renewing explicitly. Mina Raiola's always talking, but whatever, that's another debate for another day. But he's not explicitly said he's going anywhere, or he has any ambition to leave. But in my opinion, it's definitely looking like he's on his way out. I mean, especially with the absolutely insane transfer window, the most insane transfer window in history, should I say, which saw Lionel Messi actually leave Barcelona and go to Paris Saint-Germain, which it's not Premier League. We don't cover that stuff, but my God, just obscene. But yeah, and play with the best player in the world, who also are inevitably going to be the champions of the French league this year. Why wouldn't you take that opportunity? So I've got a bad feeling it could be his final season with United, but if it is, and we're not going to get any money for it, you may as well get us a few trophies. So Paul, keep up these performances, please. Don't leave, but keep up the performances.
And it's exactly that, Paul Pogba is a world-class player. And I think people are starting to, his performance in the Euros was not talked about as much because of France's early exit. And I mean, his performances were always fantastic. Him obviously holding the ball, and Kante kind of having that coverage. So like I was saying with Harry Maguire earlier, he's got that confidence now. He's got that reassurance next to him when he had Kante in that French side. And I mean, that confidence has only grown and grown. It's got him 4 assists here against Leeds. And I mean, what a performance from Paul Pogba. I think we'll mention. I mean, I kind of touched on it earlier with Graham Souness and his sort of opinions on Paul Pogba. I mean, surely at this point it's just hatred, because he didn't have anything nice to say. He says you expect that out of £100 million player. Does that mean that Grealish was absolutely terrible then because he didn't get 4 assists?
By the literal definition, Grealish even on a technicality went for more money than Pogba. So by literal definition, you hit the nail on the head. But Graham Souness, I prefer just not to give him any more, talking time. He's a pundit. He's entitled to his opinion. He was a professional. He played the game, but the game's also come an awful long way since he was a player. Football's changed, money's changed, pricing's changed. The whole atmosphere is completely different. And, occasionally this guy does come out of things which just sound horrendously out of touch, but, keep your opinions. You're allowed to have whatever opinion you like, Graham, but I assure you the rest of the Premier League probably do not think the same. So do I think Paul Pogba put up a good performance? Of course I do. And does he deserve praise? Of course he does. So, let that be the end of that conversation.
Exactly. So yeah, just so we can recap for this brand new segment of Players of the Week, the league standings currently in third place, Mohamed Salah on 1 point. In second place, we have Bruno Fernandes on 2 points. And in first place, the first ever gold medal recipient here in the Players of the Week on the Average Pundits podcast, it is Paul Pogba on 3 points. And that's the first ever week of Players of the Week, the first ever edition of Players of the Week.